What's happening, guys? Today, obviously we're in Florida because it's sunny, and we are at the home of the autos. We're going in here. We're going to get some automatic transmission line so that we can run our power steering cooler, and yeah, we just got to do that. Let's go inside and go get this power steering cooler lines. So guys, since we're a premium AutoZone customer, we get to come into the back of AutoZone back here. So here's the transmission fluid line. This is all their assortment of lines. So now we got to find the right one, not that one. If you come down here and look at the hoses though, they tell you what's on it. So this is fuel line right there. We don't need that. This is probably more fuel line right here. We need, this is heater hose, fuel line, more fuel line. Okay, so it's probably down here. TOC. I don't think that one is it. Fuel line, PCV. So this one is not it. This one actually is it right here. So the TOC hose is it. So we gotta make sure that we get the right one. This is PCV, TOC. This is heater hose right here. So not this. Let's get this one here. This one should be able to fit onto our power steering line and our power steering cooler. So let's go ahead and get this. We're probably gonna take all of this actually because we need a lot. And yeah guys, let's get that. So now we're at the shop, guys. The 180 is right here. Looking kind of dingy with this front bumper on it, but we're gonna take this off anyways. We gotta take this off to put the power steering cooler underneath it. Here's the power steering cooler. Got this second hand from a friend. This is the power steering line that we're gonna be using. We just got this at AutoZone, and here is my center console. So with the center console, I've always wanted a true launch control with a button. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook up the launch control with a two-way switch. One's gonna be true launch control, and then the other one is going to be D-cell pops for when I come up to a car show. So we're gonna be able to pop it for D-cell pops and then push it all the way to the other side, hold our momentary button, and then let it go, and it'll launch the car. So we're gonna set up all this stuff here. I'm thinking about putting these right there and possibly right there on the center console so that that'll actually work. I was originally planning on trying to put them like right here next to me, but I don't think that's gonna work really. So we're gonna have to figure out how to do that. But I might try to get them here, I might not. I just don't know yet, guys. We're gonna look at the interior stuff first. Well, let's go ahead and take out the front bumper, and then we'll be right back to you guys. Okay guys, now that we have the front bumper off, I'm actually going to take off the intercooler, which is super simple on this. So we're just gonna pop this clamp off right here, pop this one off, take off my 212s, and the intercooler should just pull off. Or I'm just gonna tilt it down and let it sit like right down here so that I can access everything right back there. Now that I'm looking back there, I don't really have a whole lot of room anymore for this actual power steering cooler. So let's hope that we can kind of snake it in on the side right there next to my big 30-row oil cooler. If not, maybe we can V-mount it underneath the headlight right here. I just have to get the headlight to actually go down, and then I can figure out how I can actually set it up right there. So let's go ahead and get this intercooler moved and start running these lines and start figuring out how we can actually do this. So guys, I just went back to the house, did a couple things for the past hour. It's been pretty stressful, but we're back at the shop now. I got my old oil cooler here. The power steering cooler's right there. I went to Lowe's and I got some metal right here and some discs so that I could cut this stuff up. We're gonna go back to the old oil cooler because it's smaller and it'll fit into the spot where it needs to fit. It needs to fit right here vertically, and then the power steering cooler is gonna fit right there. Intercooler is gonna go back on the front, and what we're gonna do to make this thing here more efficient is we're going to put a water sprayer on this right here. So we're gonna put a sprayer probably right around here, and then it's gonna spray onto the actual oil cooler. Then we're gonna put a sprayer on here, and it's gonna spray onto the power steering cooler. We're gonna do that same thing for the intercooler as well. I'll find out how to mount them on the sides of the intercooler so that it all works. And it's gonna have a 2-sprayer nozzle. One's gonna be directly for the intercooler, and there's 2 nozzles that are gonna spray for that. And then the other nozzle is gonna be for the oil cooler and the power steering cooler that's gonna spray onto those. So I have to remake some oil lines. I have to make the power steering lines. So let's go ahead and just start jumping back into this. It's gonna take me a while to do this. This video is probably gonna go up pretty late tonight, so I'm sorry for the late upload, guys, but we're gonna try to get this all done for you. I don't know if I'm gonna do the inside stuff because this is gonna take a long time to do, but we'll figure it out, guys. Let's go ahead and get back onto this here. It's a hot one here in Florida today, guys, but the power steering cooler is all on, mounted up and ready to go here. It's a little close to the frame down there, so what I'm gonna do is when I get ready to actually settle it all up and finally say, okay, it's done, I'm gonna take a piece of rubber and I'm gonna go ahead and put it underneath the bottom down there, so it's kind of sitting on some rubber, so that if it rubs at all, it's not gonna be rubbing straight on metal, it's gonna be rubbing on rubber. But now is the time that we're going to go ahead and we're gonna put the lines on. So I gotta make the line from the back one over there, and from this one back to the power steering pump. I took all of my intercooler piping off because we're gonna have to redo the oil lines and everything over there, so we're gonna have to mess with all that. So that pipe is off. These two pipes here are off. The power steering line from the actual rack is off, so that's the one that's leaking all over the floor there and making a big mess, which I'm not super keen about, but okay. So I'm gonna have to bend that one a little bit this way so that it turns towards the front. And then the other one is gonna come straight back along the frame rail right here. We're gonna zip tie it all up nice along the frame here, and it's going to go up to the power steering reservoir again. So that's gonna fix all that, and now we're gonna be running a little bit cooler power steering. So let's go ahead, bend that line a little bit and start getting these lines going to the front. So guys, the power steering cooler is all set up, it's ready to go. I have it all mounted, the two mounts on the bottom. Like I said, I insulated it with a piece of rubber down here, so that actually made it more sturdy on this, so that's really good for it. It's got the two lines that come off the top here. I got another insulator piece right back here. That's all set. It's nice and tight against the chassis right there. Then you come around to this side right here. It's tight against the chassis right here. That's nice and tight. I have the heat shielding still on it right there. And then it goes all the way back up to the 94, the actual reservoir. So overall, this is a pretty simple install on the car, but it just took a little bit of time to make the new brackets, get it all situated, see what I wanted it to look like right there. And that looks pretty good to me. Like I said, guys, we're gonna be putting a sprayer on this. So as it has all those holes up at the top right there, I'll probably just make a little bracket that comes off the top right there. And then it's gonna have the sprayer that comes right down to it. So that'll mist water or windshield washer fluid or whatever I choose to put onto it to keep it cool. Same goes for this thing. Now is gonna be the hard part of getting this all mounted up. I have to take these oil lines off. I have to drain the oil out of the lines. I have to cut the lines, make the new lines, and do all that stuff, guys. So that's gonna take a little bit of time right there. We do have to make new brackets for this because I cut the brackets up for the last time trying to make it so that they would fit onto that, but it didn't work. So I kind of regret doing that because I could have just kept those brackets and just made it work again for this. So let's go ahead though, guys, and get this one all situated here onto the car. Hopefully it doesn't take me a super long time and we can have the whole front of this thing back together, guys. I want to have this video up for you guys, like I said, probably a little while ago for 8:30, 9 o'clock the latest. I know that's already late, so let's hope that we can get this all done and it all looks good. Let's keep going. Okay, guys, so pretty cool thing here is that I don't need to make new lines. I just have to clock these lines in the right direction so that they don't hit the the intercooler or any of that stuff, and we should be able to just make the brackets and bolt this thing up. So that's kind of what we're looking at here now, guys. So oil cooler, power steering cooler, pretty simple here. Eventually, when I want to do a bigger oil cooler, I'll probably get a 20 row, not a big 32 row like that. That thing is absolutely huge. So I probably won't get as big of one next time, and I'll I'll probably get it the same width as that on that side, so it'll take up that much space. And then so pretty much, guys, all we need to do now is we need to make brackets for this to make it stand up right like this, and it should be golden, guys. So let's go ahead, try to start making some brackets for this. I'm gonna try to make a bracket that goes off the side right there. I might even possibly be able to use these two brackets from that oil cooler right there so that it'll hold it up. And yeah, guys, we should be pretty simple here to make this stuff, and then we can put the air cooler back on and see how it looks. Like I said, the biggest thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to put sprayers on all this stuff so that it actually keeps it even cooler than just having the oil cooler in the power steering cooler and just having regular air and the fan pull through it. I really want to keep this stuff cool, guys. So let's go ahead and start making up these brackets. So guys, as you can see here, the intercooler is back on, the oil coolers and the power steering cooler's on. All the couplers and everything are all tightened up. The intercooler piping is on, all the lines are tight, everything's good to go. So it's all done. Sadly, I can't really start it up, but I'm gonna put the fluids in it. I'm gonna do that off camera because it's just putting fluids in it. More power steering fluid, more oil, checking all the fittings and all that stuff. I can't start it up for you guys because it still has no radiator hoses right here, and on the bottom one, still haven't gotten those. I guess China or Japan's on a shortage of silicone because of all this COVID stuff. So the place where I got it from, Z1, doesn't even have them in stock. So kind of boo, but whatever. But everything's on. I can't wait to see how much it's going to improve everything. I probably will have to redo the oil cooler lines after putting this all together. They still are a little bit kinked, and I don't really want that. I want all the oil to flow very freely and fast through it all. So I'll probably have to redo those two lines, but everything did line up where it needed to line up. So I just put it all back together. But that's about it though, guys. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and notify yourself. Notifications, definitely hit that. But yeah, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.